Today on The Point TV.
Led to incredibly chaotic circumstances, and my husband developed postnatal depression, which did lend him to become suicidal.
Well, knowledge is power, there's no doubt about it, and these apps are easy tools at your hand to get some information.
If you actually read the label, there could be tons of sugar. You could be eating a muesli bar that has 8 teaspoons of sugar and maybe 1 teaspoon of oats and nuts.
All this and more on The Point TV.
Parents lose the equivalent of 44 full days of sleep in the first year after the birth of a child. It can feel like a tsunami has hit. My guest today is the internationally recognised baby whisperer, Amanda Bood. Amanda was the first Australian midwife to become a certified child sleep specialist. With 3 children under 2, Amanda found herself severely sleep deprived. She reached out for help, but things like child sleep school only left her more distressed. Today on The Point TV, Amanda shares her global search for solutions and how she now helps other families sleep with the Groovy Babies 3-step program. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to share you with our viewers. But to get started, can you tell me how you came up with the business name, the Groovy Babies?
Well, Jane, thank you for having me. Quite a few years ago, you may remember on the internet, there was a dancing baby, and around about the time our eldest daughter Amelia started to walk, and every time she walked, she looked like this dancing baby. She used to just groove herself away as she started to walk. So that's how I came up with the name Groovy Babies.
That's such a lovely image of you enjoying Amelia in that first year. But how did that first year go?
Well, the first 6 weeks actually went really, really well. Up until about 6 weeks, my background is a registered nurse and a registered midwife, so I thought I had it all sorted. Then, when that time period hit, I remember, it was about 3 a.m. one cold Melbourne winter, and I had to ring the Australian Breastfeeding Association, and just, I was feeling very vulnerable. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was glad I had some support to reach out to.
And not long after, in the following year, your beautiful twins, Josh and Bree, arrived.
Yeah.
How did that year go, Amelia? Amanda?
Well, I get my children's name around the wrong way all the time. That was pretty chaotic to begin with. They were born early, they were prem, they had allergies right from the word go. In fact, in those first 2 months, we fired 3 paediatricians because our instinct was telling us that something was going wrong that medical people just weren't picking up. And one day I was out in a baby shop, which is where you hang out, obviously, when you have newborns, and I ran into a lady, and she referred us on to a neonatologist who recognised that there was some issues going on, but we were sent into sleep school. And in sleep school, everything was sorted out except for how I was told to settle the children. I was told that to be able to cope with 3 children under the age of 2, I had to get some routine and patterns going on. And to do that, I had to leave them to cry. And to leave them to cry meant that they would vomit because they had reflux. So that kind of left us out in limbo with no support. Led to incredibly chaotic circumstances, and my husband developed postnatal depression, which did lend him to become suicidal. So it was incredibly dark times for us.
I just can't imagine how you got through with all of that going on, but you did. And you've told me that you went, when you all got back on your feet, that you went on a search for solutions and answers. Can you tell us where you went and what you found, Amanda?
Yeah. So I went looking for education or some sort of degree that would combine my medical training with a holistic approach to sleep. And there was nothing available in Australia at all, which led me overseas to America to a company that trains in holistic sleep science and is now available globally.
And Amanda, we may have some viewers that are severely sleep deprived at the moment and looking for some answers. So can you tell us about your 3-step program?
Yeah, sure. I developed my 3-step program, with the view of that holistic approach, where you need to peel back the onion to find the reasons why a baby might be sleeping or not sleeping that well, or whether a parent may be the reason why a baby is sleeping. So first of all, I start with transitional changes, then I look at any scheduling changes, and then finally, if needed, maybe a behavioural change. But I find once I answer any sort of issues in those first 2 steps, I really need to do a behavioural change. And Australia really only knows behavioural changes like cry it out or control crying.
Well, I've looked on your website, Amanda, and there's lots of evidence that families are getting great success following your program. I've got a testimonial here from one of the dads, so I'm just going to read that. He writes, "Dear Amanda, I just want to touch base and say thank you for giving me my sex life back. Our bub is now sleeping all night, she is settling easier, and now we have our nights. Through the day she is happy, eating well, and her personality is sunny. Happy baby, happy mummy, happy daddy." Thank you so much for joining us, Amanda. Before you go, do you have a final key message that you can leave our viewers with?
Yeah, sure. Exhaustion is a sign of chaos and not something to be worn as a badge of honour. And children do learn from their environment. They do know how to sleep, but they often need guidance from us. So if nothing will change unless you make a change.
Thank you. Sleep deprivation can lead to severe mental health issues and family breakdown. Currently in Australia, 47,000 women and 27,000 men are suffering with postnatal depression. And tragically, suicide is one of the leading causes of maternal death. Please remember, help is only a phone call away. Thank you for being with the Point TV.
Real estate, a highly emotional subject, and one which triggers a response in most people, good or bad. Tonight on The Point TV, we're looking to cut through the hype with buyer's agent Victoria Herman. Victoria is founder of Property Confidante and host of her web TV show Relocating to the Gold Coast. She was first exposed to the seedier side of the industry in her late teens when she began working in a real estate office. That experience set the wheels in motion for her current role as protector of unwary buyers. Tonight we'll learn about her passion, removing emotion from the transaction and helping her clients buy the right home for their needs. We'll also discover why this is important to her. Victoria, welcome. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thrilled to be here.
Excellent. So, can we start perhaps with the biggest misconception, okay? Buyer's agents. A lot of people seem to think that that's just for the rich and famous, the elite, Hugh Jackman perhaps?
Hugh Jackman, yes. Or Kate Blanchett even.
Yes.
She's just sold a $15 million house in Sydney, and when she's ready to move to the Gold Coast, I'm perfect for her.
Fabulous.
Who knows, Elvis might come out of the woodwork. But jokes aside, my passion is helping mums and dads. So I'd really like to help them find that home, remove the emotion, and get the perfect home for their lifestyle and their family.
Absolutely.
Not just real estate, but a home.
Very important. Excellent. So for buyers looking to find their dream home perhaps, what should they be looking for or looking out for?
Well, people sometimes think that real estate agents are very shifty and crafty.
Not all of us.
But there's some common things that they do for us, which is they try to stage homes and they try to introduce scents and make that home look really amazing. It's their job to do that. But my job as a buyer's agent is to peel back all those onion layers and get it down to bricks and mortar. because I encourage my clients to get a pest and building inspection and determine what that property really is like. We don't want it to have white ants.
No.
We want it to be a sound investment.
Absolutely, and really, really important, because at the end of the day, this is probably the biggest purchase they'll ever make in their life, and they have to make sure
Absolutely.
it's the right one. So fantastic. So what about the buyer who says to you, I don't need a buyer's agent. I've watched The Block. I have the apps on my phone. What do you say to them?
Well, knowledge is power, there's no doubt about it, and these apps are easy tools at your hand to get some information, but you know, you really need that local knowledge, because if you're coming from Melbourne or Sydney, you may not understand about white ants in
Absolutely.
Queensland,
Yep.
and you may not actually understand that from 3 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, if your living areas are facing west, be pretty hot and unbearable to enjoy them. Yeah. So apps are great, they give us knowledge, but at the end of the day it's the local experience that you can't get on an app.
Fantastic, absolutely, so very, very true. So can I ask you then, you would have examples, I'm sure, of buyers you've helped. I mean, I think for you the biggest thing is you help them with time.
True.
Because it takes a lot of time to go find homes, open homes and what have you.
Great example, recently a client was coming up from northern New South Wales.
Yep.
And they planned to look at 30 properties that weekend, and that's just impossible.
Yep.
I went through the list, and knowing my local knowledge, 28 of them weren't worth looking at.
Fantastic.
Only 2 of them we went to look at together. So that's a true example of where I can save someone a lot of time and stress.
So what do you think would be the 3 main things that a buyer has to look for when they're looking for that dream home? Top 3.
Okay. I'm sure I've got more than 3, but I'm conscious of time.
Okay.
So number 1 would be remove the emotion. Emotion is a killer. When you fall in love with a property, you actually pay too much, and agents know how to get that out of you.
That's my job. That's what it's
They
about.
know how to
Yes.
really pull it out of you.
Absolutely.
So I protect them from themselves a little
Okay.
bit there.
Yep.
Another one is the frustration. When you don't get that home you really wanted, sometimes you have a knee-jerk reaction and you go, oh, I didn't get that one, but I'm just going to go and buy that one round the corner.
You were saying just this weekend you've had a client going through this.
Yes, and their heart was literally outside of their body. So I'm there to protect them from that, because that property around the corner, funnily enough, had that western sun and it wasn't right for them, but it was a knee-jerk reaction, so I protected them from that. And the third one would be remove the emotion. No, yeah, definitely remove the emotion.
And also, I guess, to make sure they stick to their brief.
Yes. Stick to your brief.
Yep.
If you need 4 bedrooms and you buy 3 bedrooms, where's little Johnny going to sleep?
As a selling agent, I don't know how many times clients have come to me to look at a 4-bedroom home, end up buying a 2-bedroom unit. You're like, well, what happened? Where did this come from? They've made that mistake, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Yep. Okay, fantastic. All right, so to wrap it up briefly, what's the message that you'd like to give to the viewers, perhaps, as to what they need to look for, what they need to be aware of, and why they need to use, for example, a buyer's agent?
So my key message to the viewers today is remove the emotion, remove the frustrations, and buying a property is a really big investment. So if you stick to those 2 key things to start with, then you'll buy a property that can stand the test of time.
Okay, and that's important, isn't it? Because it's not just, I know you're a valuer, and it's not just about the value of the home or the equity, it's also about the lifestyle on the Gold Coast. Really important.
It's very important that you don't buy a property outside of where you want to be for work and school. You'll lose the whole lifestyle of the Gold Coast. We want to be close to the water, we love the parks, we've got great schools, Pacific Fair, hey, I'll be there on the weekend. And if you get distracted from what the key elements are that you need to be around, which emotion can do, then it's all over really.
That's exactly right.
That's why I'm here to protect you from that.
And your TV web show, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, relocating to the Gold Coast is about little snippets around the coast of everyday life that I can show people. How we go to Currumbin down to the beach, how we go to Pacific Fair, how we go to Albert Park, ride your bikes with your 4-year-old.
Rabina now with the kitchens and all those amazing restaurants.
So I've got little videos that I do for the web show, and actually not only for interstate viewers like to see what we're up to, but for all around the world.
The Gold Coast is growing. It has grown. It's no longer a little country town.
Yes, it's sort of stuck between. It's not a capital city, but it's still a force to be reckoned with, and we've had a lot of growth each year.
Absolutely.
And we've got some more stimulation with the Commonwealth Games at the moment too. Property's moving really quickly.
Fantastic. So Victoria, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And while we do sort of come from opposing sides of the real estate spectrum, I'm a selling agent, you're a buyer's agent, but for us, and I think I'm hoping the viewers can see this, that we are passionate about making sure that our clients are looked after, that their needs are met, in your case that they buy the right home. For my case, that they get the most price, but that's okay. So yeah, thank you so much. And for the rest of us, thank you so much for coming to the TV channel, or to the Point TV. This is Loretta Chapara and Victoria Herman. Good night. Thank you.
Welcome everybody, this is Isabella on the Point TV. We all know how bad sugar can be for your health. It causes diabetes, tooth decay and sends your children on a sugar high. Little do we know, it is a lot more detrimental to your health than you think. In fact, it's proven to have cancer-creating properties, adds centimetres to your waistline, and impacts the way that you think and you feel. Well, the average Australian family consumes roughly 6 kilos of sugar per week, producing the largest influx of health-related issues in history. A change needs to be made. Today, I have my good friend Kalila Purtle joining us, a young entrepreneur with a successful business at the age of 16 that is sharing with us today her story of success and her passion for living healthy yet delicious lives without the sugary consequences. Please welcome Kalila. So Kalila, what do you do?
So as a part of a passion-based learning program that I do at my school, I developed my own initiative/business called the Sugar Free Teen. And within this initiative, I developed my own published website, my own book full of sugar-free sweet treats, and social media profiles to inspire others and share my knowledge.
So you said something about passion-based learning. What is passion-based learning?
So I go to an independent school, and our high school program is quite different to a lot of other schools. We get 2 full days a week to focus on our passions and interests and really learn to develop them and turn them into a reality. So that's how I developed the Sugar Free Teen.
Why did you choose to look into the sugar-free lifestyle?
Well, I'm a passionate health foodie, but I love sweet treats, and I really wanted to see if there were other alternatives, and if I was able to, eat desserts without feeling guilty and not harming my body. And I feel like sugar is also quite a growing issue in this day and age, especially within teens. I feel like people just need to be more educated and learn what they're putting into their bodies and what benefits they can get.
So there are a lot of health foodies out there. What makes your business stand out?
Well, yeah, I know there are a lot of health enthusiasts out there doing possibly the same thing as me, but I feel like there aren't many young people putting their opinions out there and sharing their knowledge, especially in this industry. And I feel like there aren't many teens striving to make change in this industry, so I think that's possibly how my business is different.
Do you feel your sugar-free food choices impact your family's cooking at home?
Yeah, definitely. When I'm there making a conscious effort to be healthier, I think it definitely motivates them to be healthier. And I'm always bringing new ideas into the house, new healthy recipe ideas, and sharing my knowledge with them. And I think it definitely inspires them to eat better.
And also with the people around you, do you influence your friends at school?
Yeah, so I go to school 5 days a week, so I'm surrounded by teens and kids, so I definitely try and make an effort to non-forcefully get my opinion out there and my views out there. And going to a school, I see that a lot of kids come to school with lunches full of processed foods, and we're only meant to be consuming 5 to 9 teaspoons of sugar a day, and these kids are coming to school with so much more, with their muesli bars, their juice boxes. They're coming to school with so much more, and I really just want to get my knowledge out there and inspire others. And I'm lucky enough to go to a school that's very inclusive, and you don't get judged or shamed for bringing in healthy salads or muesli bars or healthy treats. So when I bring healthy stuff in, I think it motivates my friends too as well.
What are some simple actions that you can take to control how much sugar we're putting into our bodies?
I definitely think reading your labels is a big thing. You never know what might be in the box. And a brand could be advertising that there's, lots of nuts and oats and healthy energy and all that. But if you actually read the label, there could be tons of sugar. You could be eating a muesli bar that has 8 teaspoons of sugar and maybe 1 teaspoon of oats and nuts. So you definitely really have to read your labels. You could be saving yourself from eating a lot more sugar than you need to. Yeah.
So what do you mean by sugar-free?
I personally mean refined sugar-free. So when I talk sugar-free, I mean white sugar and corn syrup, because they're the sugars that just have no nutritional benefits and cause a lot of health issues. I'm into the whole food sweeteners like dates, rice malt syrup, raw honey, and 100% maple syrup. And yes, these are all still sweeteners, but they have nutritional benefits and are much better for you. But as always, you still have to consume everything in moderation.
Are you always sugar-free?
No, I try to, be as healthy as I can, but I am all about that balanced diet, and I definitely do treat myself every so often. But I like to look into healthy desserts and try eat as healthy as possible, but I think it's good to treat yourself every so often.
What are some of the things that you've achieved with your sugar-free business?
Well, my main aim was to create the book, and I definitely created the book. It's published on Amazon. It's also in a book form. I also put one of my recipes in an online competition and won $1,000. And I ultimately just ticked off my goals in health and was able to share my passion with others and educate others.
What kind of recipes do you have in your ebook?
In my book, I have recipes in the categories of breakfast, snacks, desserts and drinks, and I've tried to take a twist on some of our favourite sweet foods that we like our chocolate bars, muffins, cakes, and really show people that you can eat these sweet foods but not be harming your body and really nourishing your body.
Where do you see yourself going in the future with this?
Well, I definitely want to explore things in health. I don't know fully what I want to do, but health is definitely my passion, and I really want to just get my message out there. I'm not trying to be a nutritionist or dietitian. Health is just my passion, and especially sugar-free, as I see it's a growing issue. And yeah, I just want to educate others.
What are the benefits of living a sugar-free lifestyle?
Well, you definitely feel happier and healthier knowing you're not putting harmful things into your body. It can help you with weight loss or weight management, you get better skin, and overall I feel like you just feel physically and mentally much happier and better.
How can we find your book, your social media platforms? How can we find you?
I'm all over the internet just as The Sugar-Free Teen, and I have a website called www.thesugarfreeteen.com, and yeah, I'm up everywhere, and if anyone wants to chat to me, yeah, feel free.
So, if you could give a message to all the teenagers out there, what would you say to them?
I'd say to everyone, you wouldn't put dirty fuel into your body, so dirty fuel into your car, so why would you put it into your body? Definitely always just read the labels and know that you can eat delicious foods without harming your body.
Great, so that's all we have time for. I could listen to this for hours, but thank you so much for joining us, and that's Isabella on The Point TV. Have a good night.